Good afternoon, and it's Simon Whale here from Kerfuffle, here with the beautifully hatted Tom from DCTR. That is fantastic merch there. Well done. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Simon. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. As I said, this is again, we're just summing up. We're getting around all. This is me just hanging on to the coattails of the good and the great from the industry in the supplier world. Everyone who was obviously, everyone who was awarded and shortlisted at EA Masters recently for innovation. Just a big pat on the back there. So yeah, you got into the top 40 after your new rebrand and everything else there. And you were also in the top 10 for marketing, wasn't it? That was the stream you were shortlisted in. That's fantastic. Obviously, what else could it be but you guys in marketing there? So first of all, have you had a good year? Is it how have you coped with the kind of we're in lockdown, we're out of lockdown, we're back in lockdown? Has it impacted on your business, or have you managed to pivot it enough like many agents have?
Yeah, so I'd say April, May weren't great, but since then we've had pretty epic June to now. Really, we've been run off our feet. In fact, we've taken on two new members of staff, and over that time, our core business has grown really nicely, but also we've been innovating quite a lot in terms of the service that we're giving to our lovely clients. So we've got some really exciting things which we'll be showing you in a couple of weeks as well. But yeah, I'd say
tease.
Sorry,
I said you tease. You've led me down the garden path here now, and you're saying no. The real one you want to tune into is a couple of weeks. I have got a bit of a heads up on that, and I must say I'm tremendously excited. It does seem a bit like black magic, so I want to check I'm not being hustled first and foremost. But it looks the absolute business.
Yeah, we'll call it pink magic. It sounds a bit weird, but yeah, no, I'm really excited to show you. We've done something special for Kerfuffle as well, so it's going to be quite a special session. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this lockdown that we're in right now, there's not been much change to our business over the last couple of days. We'll see, because one side of my business is quite sensitive to the market. You know, if houses aren't coming on, then we don't get paid. But yeah, it's we're holding on in there. So.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're the only people keeping the economy going, aren't we? Everyone's out there. We've got a special get out of jail card by what it looks like. But anyway, let's just recap though on obviously the innovation that you were actually shortlisted for. So, as I understand it, this was a virtual furnishing service, wasn't it, that you again launched, looking at what you could do in the marketplace, and obviously still based around your core activity. Do you want to just give people an understanding, a quick elevator pitch as to what it did, what problem it was solving, and indeed how your clients have taken to it?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Thanks, Si. So yeah, over the last, I'd say, year or so, we've really step changed how we deliver our virtual furnishing service to our clients. So we've offered virtual furnishing for probably 3 years or so, but the way that it, in terms of the quality of what we do, and also the ease of how a client uploads and selects their furnishing, is completely different. So what is virtual furnishing? Virtual furnishing is ultimately staging a property's photos, and they could be your 2D or your 3D virtual reality photos with photorealistic furniture. So this could be, we've got quite a lot of new homes clients, but equally we've actually got a really nice core customers that actually use us to replace, if the room's looking a little bit tired, if the furniture is a little bit 70s, then we can actually represent, from a soft furnishing point of view, what that potential space could look like if you were to invest a bit in your furniture when you move in. And that can really make a really big difference to your marketing on Rightmove and on your websites and that kind of thing. In terms of why I think we've won from an innovation perspective, it's really how we're delivering that product and how we look after the client when they've selected the furniture. So right now, a client can log on and they can select from over 150 different style templates, and everything from your kind of your fancy traditional castle right through to sort of your Swedish kind of ultra modern style, if you like, and it's really simple. They just select that template, and then what we do is take them on a bit of a journey. So once they've selected their furniture, we actually create a mood board with that. And it's very much like if you were to do this offline in the real world. If you got interior designers in, they would give you suggestions on how you're going to stage that space, so it creates that really big big impression. And because we've done this for so many years now, we know what will work ultimately. So we work really closely with the client once we've had the order in, and we can turn them around in 2 to 3 days, including the mood board. So it's a really nice journey that they go on. And finally, just to say, what we do with that mood board is we brand it up to the client. So if they, even if they wanted to white label it and they didn't want us on there, it's the estate agent client or the new homes manager can effectively put it forward as their own. And that's a really nice way to add value through their service to the developer or to the vendor. And it's again quite unique to this industry, I think. So that's what I think we run.
Well, it's fantastic. And how's it set? Two elements here. I was just talking to Heather just previously, and she was saying some of the feedback from not just the agents in terms of the street, their new product there, but actually from the public itself has been really positive. Do you get to hear that kind of first line feedback from the public as well? I'm guessing you're always getting agents, sending you those kind of thoughts through, aren't you?
Yeah, no, we do. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we got a request in from someone where they could buy the furniture because they thought it was so photorealistic. And actually, some of the models that we use can be brands. They track back to the brands. They're from like 3ds Max websites, and they can track them back to the brand. So we can sometimes actually let them know where it's from. But yeah, that was quite funny because nowadays the realism is pretty spot on, to be honest. Yeah. We can, with a photo, there'll always be a bit of grain and there'll be certain blurriness to whatever. We'll always make sure that it looks as realistic within that space as possible, and the lighting and everything. So, yeah.
There was an explosion of these kind of immersive products a few years ago, wasn't it? And they never really was it. Is it just we've got the right combination of technology, and it feels the right kind of moment for people to embrace it? Because sometimes technology can be a bit too far ahead of itself, can't it? And then it flatters to deceive that it's just too difficult to set up or everything else there. Do you think this is just the sweet spot in terms of we have got the technology and people actually perceive it as being needed now?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably three things. So one is the likes of the situation that we're in right now. A lot less people can go out and look around houses. Unfortunately, I mean, I know it's still allowed, but there's some people that don't want to leave their sofa at the moment. And whilst we can dress 2Ds, we can also dress 3Ds. So as there's been an explosion in your kind of I Spy 360s and all of these. Well, we can actually dress those photos as well. So in theory, that agent never needs to dress that apartment, that new home, because that I know there's been quite a lot of feedback from people that apparently, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's been quite a lot of people that have bought off virtual tours, haven't they? Which I've heard and read in the market. And in theory, it's all completely virtual, and even the furniture is virtual, and it's a really quick, easy way to make those images stand out when they're online on their sofa. The second thing I think is the realism. So in the olden days, it wasn't great. I mean, it was fine, like it did a job, but like you really tell that it was not. It's not real.
You kind of had to squint, really, didn't you, if you're going to make it work?
Yeah, if you held it like about 10 meters away, it's fine. So that's the second thing. And then I think the third thing really is just the importance of visual marketing nowadays online in order to stand out, but also it all contributes towards all the different channels that people are reaching the potential purchases. So Facebook, Twitter, I see a lot of my work through my clients when they're sharing it. And that's quite cool. I'm proud of that, because I'll say, well, I worked on that last Thursday, and that's really cool. So it's not only a right move thing, and it's not only a brochure thing like traditionally it was. Now it can be used, the same piece of content can be used across 20 different channels, and I think that's the reason that people see the value in it, is they can really, there's nothing worse with social media, for example, than sharing this tired looking or empty looking almost looks like a hospital, but we can dress that, and it's all legal. There's no property misdescription issues, because it's all soft furnishings, and ultimately that can be moved whenever. So I think that's why.
Perfect. Well, look, there can't be anything more important in a lockdown period now than where everything, so much of it is your only exposure to an agent is digital. What can be more important than having things like this, having the absolute top class photos and everything else, because that is genuinely how you're going to stand out from the crowd. And again, that was why I certainly reaffirmed your position in the top 40. In the top 40 there, in the top 10 for marketing. So congratulations on that one. You're certainly not you're not sat on your laurels anyway, are you? Creating things. Fantastically well done. Anyone's interested in getting in contact with Tom directly, or go via their landing page on Kerfuffle, see the great reviews, what named agents are saying about them. It's all absolutely fantastic there, and the deal's absolutely great on the site. And Tom, I look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks for your secret project.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. I'm looking forward to it too. It should be awesome.
Hey, have a good one.
Cheers, guys.